Okay, so now I'm getting ready to put the vapor barrier on the side ribs here on the driver's side and start to fill that in with the wool for additional insulation and to create the vapor barrier. So what I'm going to do here first is I have this thin strip ready from the previous from running the ceilings. What I'm going to do is I've got it taut down there with the clamps, and I'll basically trace the tire out by pressing it up against there, running a marker along, and then cutting that piece, and also with the gas tank so I can get it form fit to those two humps there, and then I'll get that stapled in. Alright, so I got the first part tied in and cut out. I just needed to make sure that all this was in order here before I move any further tying this down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I got this initial layer of Reflectix up. I'm going to pack all the wool back behind here in all the crevices, all the voids, to get this filled up and insulated back behind here. That'll just allow me a little bit more insulation. So again, I'm just taking it out, kind of fluffing it up, packing it down into these voids. You don't want to pack it in super tight. You just want enough air to be your insulator as well. Air is actually one of the best insulators, so always keep that in mind with this stuff. You don't want to be jamming it in because you actually lose insulation R value if you're just cramming it in there and it's all super dense. Alright, so we'll continue on with this and get this all packed in. I wanted to quickly touch base on the product I used here for the insulation. If you've watched my previous videos, this is natural sheep's wool, and it's from a company called Havelock Wool. They're a great company. I highly recommend their product. It's worked well for me. It fits in all the voids, it's sustainable, and it has a lot of great properties to it. I'll put a link in the description so you can check out more about the company and the product and check out the price as well. Okay, got that first layer in. Still don't know what to do with the flaps because I'm still trying to decide. This obviously is going to be a panel that goes over this, so I got to make sure that fits on there. And then back there I'll probably be putting a wood panel along that back. Just have to decide quickly on what I need to do there. Working to get this second layer in. So again, I just set the roll up on the seat. Help me kind of keep it on that level over here for when I'm stapling it in. once again, I'm just going through and tearing up the wool, kind of getting it loose and stuffing it down into the voids back behind the Reflectix. On this level here, there's not too many small crevices. It's all about window height, or where the windows would be if this wasn't the cargo van. Normally, these come in bats, meaning it's like a woven layer that you can kind of place in behind there, and you could do it that way. I just chose to actually tear it up and place it back in there, trying to fill as much of the space as I could. I also think I get a little bit higher R value because it is a bit thicker than the bats come in, even if I were to double those up. And it's really important to me that I got a really good insulation barrier for both the summer and the winter, for holding in heat and holding in cool air. Okay, just got this one last strip to cut. It's about 117 inches by 11. I'm going to overlap a little bit so I can tuck in underneath, because it does, the ceiling does dip down back here. So we'll do a little bit of a tuck and then tape that up. I did tape up the middle seam, got that all done. We'll get that taped up and then we'll do all the staple holes. Got the first part tacked up here. What we're going to have to do is, as we go, before we staple in, we'll fill that in with insulation. Then we'll just work our way back, get everything stapled in, and I'll have to cut one hole to send one of the wires through up here. Other than that, I'll just be tucking that top ridge in once I complete the insulation so it falls underneath there. It's a good overlap to put the tape on. Another thing I did when preparing the electrical is, any hot spot where the wire is going to come through one of these holes, it is sharp on the edge, so I just took strips of kill mat and kind of pressed them on the sides. It provides a nice soft edge instead of being really sharp, so this will kind of help in case it's moving around with the van. It should be packed in there pretty well with insulation, but if for any reason it is moving around, at least it won't be chafing on a really sharp edge. Okay, so I'm getting this side rolled out. I had a shorter roll from cutting pieces off of this one, so I just use that on the bottom because then I can cut on that lower one. Then I can attach the thicker piece from there to there and have that be a nice seam, and then I can go up with another thicker one and do those two seams, get that to the roof, tape that in. So I just did the trace method again on this wheel, just laid it down and clamped it to the back there, made sure it was flat on the ground, just traced on the back, the outside where the wheel well was, and placed it over that. So we'll get that stapled in now. the second layer up. Now we'll put the third layer and just work from the back forward on filling it in.